At around 3:40 a.m. on Friday, June 27th, 911 was alerted to a child drowning in a residential pool in El Portal, a town just north of Miami, Florida. First responders from the village of El Portal Police Department and Miami-Dade Fire Rescue arrived at the short-term rental property where they met a woman named Dr. Neha Gupta. She brought them straight to the backyard where they found 4-year-old Aria Talathi unresponsive and at the bottom of the deep end of the swimming pool. EMTs immediately started trying to save her and rushed the baby to Jackson Memorial Hospital's Ryder Trauma Center. Sadly, she was pronounced dead around 4:28 a.m.
Welcome to Florida Man Friday, here on Love and Murder, Heartbreak to Homicide. We're Kai's AI co-hosts, Jensen, Jessica, and Jane, and on Fridays, we bring you the details of Florida cases that Kai writes for you. Take a moment, settle in, and listen all the way to the end as we uncover the facts behind this crime. If you like our retelling, then please subscribe so you don't miss any more cases. You can also subscribe on our Patreon for free, patreon.com/loveandmurder. You do get some extras as a free subscriber, but to get bonus episodes, case extras, and no intros or commercials, then join one of our bonus tiers. Patreon.com/loveandmurder. Your support keeps these stories coming and helps give a voice to the victims. Now, let's get back to the case of the murder of Aria.
The then 36-year-old pediatrician Dr. Neha Gupta worked at Oklahoma Children's Hospital OU Health, part of the University of Oklahoma's health network, and also served as an assistant professor. But just weeks before Aria died, things had already started falling apart for Neha. On May 30th, 2025, she was suspended from patient care and handed a notice of termination, both from OU Health and the University of Oklahoma. On top of everything happening in her career, Neha was also in the middle of a, quote, highly contentious and nasty divorce from her ex-husband, Dr. Aria Talathi, a fellow pediatric physician. The divorce, which started in 2022, was finalized in 2024, but the two were still locked in a bitter custody battle over Aria. A judge had already denied Neha's request for sole custody. Earlier in 2025, Dr. Talathi raised serious concerns about Neha allegedly interfering with Aria's medical care and even requested a psychiatric evaluation for his ex-wife. Neha pushed back and said she wouldn't comply unless he was also evaluated. He later told investigators he had no idea Neha had taken Aria out of Oklahoma to Florida for the vacation. On June 25th, Neha and Aria had traveled from Oklahoma City to Miami and checked into a short-term rental. According to Neha, the day before Aria's death, they'd spent the entire day riding jet skis and hanging out at the beach. She told investigators they returned to the rental between 7 and 8 p.m., and even though Aria was already asleep, she woke her up around 9 p.m. so they could eat dinner. Neha said they eventually went to sleep together in the master bedroom around 12:30 a.m. and that she made sure to lock all the sliding glass doors before going to bed. She said that she then woke up around 3:20 a.m. after hearing some kind of weird noise. That's when she noticed that the sliding glass door was open. She walked outside and saw Aria submerged in the deep end of the pool. Neha told police that for about 10 minutes she tried to rescue her daughter by herself, but she couldn't swim. That's when, at 3:40 a.m., she finally called for help. Police took her statement as Aria's body was sent for autopsy. On June 29th, the autopsy report came back. In it, the medical examiner found no water in Aria's lungs or stomach. In other words, she didn't drown. Instead, the autopsy found cuts inside her mouth and bruising on her cheeks that weren't the result of CPR. The medical examiner said those injuries were consistent with asphyxiation by smothering. Their preliminary findings indicated Aria was already dead before she ever ended up in that pool. And that wasn't the only red flag. Neha told investigators they'd had dinner at 9 p.m., but Aria's stomach was completely empty. Surveillance footage and Airbnb records confirmed that Neha and Aria were the only two people staying at the rental property. Investigators ultimately concluded that, based on everything they'd gathered, Neha staged the scene to make it look like an accidental drowning when in reality, her daughter was already dead long before her body had been put in the pool. After this, on June 30th, an arrest warrant was issued. Detectives from Miami-Dade traveled to Oklahoma City, and with the assistance of the United States Marshal Service and the Oklahoma City Police Department, they were able to find and arrest Neha. Body cam footage shows marshals having to force their way into Neha's house because she refused to let them in. Inside the house, officers swept room by room, passing a child's toy set in the living room as they cleared the space. Eventually, they found Neha hiding in a dark corner of the laundry room, and she surrendered without a fight.
Kai has video of the arrest in the Patreon as a case extra. This is the kind of case extras you get by being a part of the $3 tier or above. Patreon.com/loveandmurder.
Neha was extradited to Florida shortly after and is facing a first-degree murder charge. She is currently being held without bond at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Miami-Dade County. Currently, Neha gave no motive for allegedly murdering her daughter. Her attorney, Richard L. Cooper, said that his client is innocent. He also criticized the investigation, calling the arrest warrant flimsy and the investigation rushed and circumstantial. He argued that Neha had, quote, multiple opportunities to flee, but instead stayed and cooperated with law enforcement, answered all their questions, etc. According to him, she feels completely betrayed by the MDSO. Attorney Cooper also said that, quote, all other signs point to a simple tragic accident, and argued there's no direct evidence proving she harmed her child.
He said that all signs point to that conclusion? I have to disagree because the medical examiner's report said that every single sign points to homicide. There was no water in her lungs or stomach, so did she have her accident outside of the pool and after she died, rolled herself into the water? Allegedly.
Her attorney said that Neha is deep in grief and talked about how much she's struggling.
She has had the worst tragedy imaginable occur, and then she's locked up without bond and is missing her own daughter's funeral. Common decency would dictate that a little more than 1 day's worth of investigation transpire before making such a dramatic move.
Despite his arguments, the judge denied her bond due to the severity of the charge and what prosecutors described as strong evidence. As of now, Dr. Neha Gupta was scheduled to be arraigned yesterday, on August 7th. Kai will keep you updated on this case. What did you think of this case? Do you think Neha is innocent and it was a simple accident? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
If you want more episodes, join us on Patreon. This week's bonus episode was a case where 2 teens got lost on the way to a party. They called home and said they had directions. The next morning, they were found murdered in the trunk of a car. It took 20 years and a DNA match to find the man responsible. I told the Lamb fam about the murder of J.B. Beasley and Tracy Hallett. Plus, when you join the Patreon, you'll get access to our Dangerous Duos series, case extras, and more. Patreon.com/loveandmurder. Thank you for listening all the way to the end and for supporting the show. We'll see you in the next episode.